Look at this. I'm not sure how much chicken you guys have prepared in the past, but how much of you all remember the chicken just kind of separating on its own, pulling apart without any effort? Why? What is this part of the chicken, y'all? You remember your chicken coming apart like this? This is coming right from the Kroger bag. This is their chicken, and you can see right out of the bag the lines are there, and it just comes apart.
Have you guys seen that story about Dave's Killer Bread, and that they found very high levels of glyphosate in their bread, particularly in their white bread done right? I've been buying Dave's Killer Bread, in particular the white bread done right. I couldn't tell you how many years I've been buying that. Couldn't tell you. Many years. That is the only bread I ate. It's the bread I gave my son, because I thought I was doing something good. I was trying to be a smart consumer. I was in the fitness industry for a long time. I try to eat very healthy, try to do well for my son. Spent almost $7 on each loaf of that just to get poisoned with glyphosate.
Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, all praise, all honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the mime in Atlanta, and you see there on the screen, it's going through a few different clips showing the defiled bread here in Babylon the Great, aka America. And this is from lady's channel, A Homestead Journey, and she put together this nice little mix of different clips for us. And so I'm going to go through these and hit some scriptures, but we might as well go straight to scripture. This is Ezekiel 4 and verse 13. It says, "And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, said, even thus shall the children of Israel are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as are scattered. It says, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them." Slakia. And the Lord said that Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles till the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And within this trodden down, because Jerusalem's a people before it's a place, but it's both. Both the city is being trodden down by Gentiles currently. You got Amalek in the land claiming to be the Lord's people, but they are not. They're trodden down the land, and the people have been trodden down. We've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, placed under the heathen. Most of all here in Babylon the Great, under the heathen, under the Edomites, so-called white people, including the tiny tops. And we're subject to eating defiled bread. All of our food is poisoned here, every bit of it. There's GMOs, there's what they call organic food that's poisoned as well. They poison the air with these chemtrails. They poison the water. The earth is completely defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they transgress the laws. Actually, let's get that while we're saying it, or while I'm saying it. Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24 and 5, "The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Breaking the Lord's law, statutes, commandments brings death, and that is what's coming to this place. But he's letting us sit in it and see what happens when you when you break the law, statutes, and commandments. And there are certain statutes and commandments on how to maintain the earth. Maintaining the earth will allow you to have good food, but we're under the rule of the devil, these Edomites, and there is as death and hell. They destroy everything. They bring death. So of course we're going to have food that brings death. They put these GMOs in here. They also try to defile it to keep the people docile so they don't rise up against them. That's a lot of why they put the F to the L to the I in your water to keep you docile, even though they'll tell you that that's been fact checked and that's not true. But why don't you see Babylonians going against their government like you see the other nations doing? And then you look at the Babylonian government and it's a bunch of blood drinkers, children eaters, and players with children. You would think people would already be up in arms with everything that's being done, but no. But yeah, we are eating defiled bread amongst the Gentiles in every possible way. Let's get back to this though.
That really pisses me off. I saw a video yesterday about our cheese that we get at the store. 90% of them all use a rennet that is made by Pfizer. So I decided to go down a rabbit hole and I looked into it, and sure as shit, Pfizer makes a bioengineered rennet. And so I was like, well, hopefully it's not the cheese I love. I love Tillamook cheese. Love it. We use it all the time. And sure shit, right here, I googled it. They use bioengineered rennet from Pfizer. And so in that video I saw yesterday, they mentioned if you're going to use cheese, make sure you get European cheese. So now I gotta find a cheese that I like that's European, and where to find it and how much is it, and I have so many questions and I am so pissed off. How do you feel about this? What cheese do you use that doesn't use this crap? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to know.
The fact that so many of us have both cancers, many of them that comes from cancer warning on there.
I'm in Florida. It's my feed station. It's been here for 5 years. Taking a lot of deer off of it. A lot of critters. There's my stand down there. Call that the guard tower. Well, the church brought the fire station a bunch of fruits and vegetables and bread and stuff. And I noticed we had like literally cases of it. Now we're going to throw it away. I put this out 3 days ago. Got my camera right there. 3 days ago. There's tracks all back here. I just filled the corn up again. They came to eat here, whatever. In what world do wild animals not eat grapes and apples? Especially deer. Hogs, wild hogs. We have a ton of wild hogs here. Got pictures of them. They haven't touched it. That is strange to me. Not even a bird has eaten any of this. Nothing. That's what you're putting in your body, folks. I don't know what it is. It's weird.
It's 3.
That one, what we just watched there, that was eye-opening to me, because I see it with my dog at home. My rib will bring food that they had at work or something home, try to give it to the dog, and the dog won't even touch it. And every time we're like, oh, because it's poison. It's fake food. It's GMOs. In which, yeah, these are fake foods that we're being given. It's shortening our lifespans. It's aging us. It's giving us diseases. It's causing trouble. It's causing massive amounts of trouble. And I can't believe people aren't in uproars about the food. I hate it, and I look forward to the kingdom to getting actual real food. And even looking down here at the comments, this one stood out to me. It says, the world knows how poisoned your food is. Everybody else in the world knows that American food is shit. It says that's why no one else buys it. If they feed you cancer at one end, they can charge you to cure it at the other end. And that's exactly what the devil has done. We've seen with John D. Rockefeller how they created the petroleum-based medicines, and then went around, in order for him to push these medicines, he went around calling all the natural doctors quacks, and so on and so forth, discouraging the use of the natural medicines that come out of the earth. And they created the American Medical Association. After that, people started getting cancers from these petroleum-based medicines, as well as the foods. And he created the American Cancer Society after that. And it's really just we're just in a really big scam of a system. Everything makes you sick, everything defiles you, everything hurts you. It all brings death. And that's why we were looking for Yahweh Shai to bring life. But going back to the scripts, I wanted to go here to Genesis 4, because this goes back to, this is why we have GMO foods, because of Cain, in which the Edomites, so-called white people, including the tiny tops, not every single one of them comes from Esau, but for the most part, that is the nation. Those are the people that come from the Edomites. And it depends on who you come from through your father. So there's that, because not every so quote unquote white person comes from Esau through their father's lineage. Some of them go back to Israel, some of them go back to another nation. But the ones that are Edomites, Esau was the reincarnation of Cain. And Cain had this curse put on him after he murdered his brother Abel. And so Genesis 4:10, it says, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And the life is in the blood, so you can see why it was crying. It says, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. So Cain was cursed from the earth. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And currently we're within Esau's kingdom. Esau was the reincarnation of Cain, and these curses stayed on the Edomites. That mark of Cain, considering they have no melanin, that's the mark, having your melanin stripped from you and just being pale. That's the mark. And then also been cursed from the earth. They can't get the fullness of the earth, and so they try to use these GMOs. They have to do all this deforestation and all sorts of things, and things don't ever come out right, because these are crooked people and a defiled people. So you're going to get defiled bread through these people. But they have to use these different chemicals and these different GMOs and these different sprays to keep the bugs off of it, because the earth isn't going to operate at its fullest under the Edomite reign. Like, think about early within the scriptures spying out the Holy Land. It took 2 men to bring back a bundle of grapes. You're not going to get that under the Edomite rule, in which these are the worst possible people that we could have ruling over us. They're the basest of men, as it says. And we see the earth in its lowest form that it's ever been in. So praying that Yahweh Shai returns quick. Because, if he doesn't come back when he comes, there'd be no flesh left to be saved under this Edomite rulership. Going back to this comment, it says, as a German, I've visited the U.S. twice. On both occasions, the food made me literally ill. And this food is ew. It's ill. Let's see what else we got.
What they feed our children. This is what our children have to eat. And this is why I have to always have some healthy snacks, because who wants to eat this? This is what they opened up to. Crazy.
So crazy how David's killer bread just got exposed for having glyphosate in it, and all of a sudden it's buy one, get one free.
And I was just looking at, they were talking about this killer bread. I was just looking at the pasture-raised eggs. I forget the name of them, but they just got called out for having all sorts of extra stuff in it that they shouldn't have had. And then BlackRock also bought this egg brand. I can't think of the name of them right now, but they have a colorful box. And I'm sure you hear about it, but it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. All the food is defiled, including the organic stuff. You can try to get your farm-raised eggs from a neighbor down the street or something, or get your own chickens, or try to grow your own stuff. But even growing your own food at your house, the seeds they go through Esau in the first place. And then Esau sprays the air with these trails with barium and aluminum and whatever else, and that gets on. It rains onto your food. In the last few years, our garden has not come up nearly as full as it has in the past. And I blame that on Esau, because Esau has defiled this earth. But getting back to this.
All of a sudden, it's all on down free.
And in case you needed more proof that the government is trying to harm us, I bought this bread months ago. This is the expiration date. It is best used by December 28th, 2025. It is currently February 10th or 11th of 2026. This bread has absolutely no imperfections, nothing. And I used to have to freeze my bread, the same bread years ago, just because it went bad on me so quick. So I don't know what they're doing, but they're getting us fake bread.
I don't even know how to show you.
FYI, people.
Paper plates, paper napkins, paper cups. Where is it all going? All right.
FYI, people. This is Walmart chicken, aka lab meat chicken, versus the meat market chicken. Know what you're eating, y'all.
I'm disgusted.
Yeah, this devil has defiled the whole earth. And it's time for Yahweh Bashem El Shai to come take him out. They need to be taken out. They've been exposed. The world knows that they're deviants, that they diddle little children, that they eat them, that they drink their blood, that they hunt people, that they're not the people of the Lord, that they're not even white people as they claim to be. The Lord's got to come. He's coming to take them out. They've been revealed, and he's got to come remove them from power. And they have destroyed the earth. And I know we're talking about food, but part of destroying the food comes from the earth, and part of destroying that food that comes from the earth is actually destroying the earth with these different chemtrails, with these chemicals they put out here, with the different spills that they have, these oil spills and chemical spills. I was just trying to go camping up in not too an hour up the road from here, and there's what's called Dawson Forest. I started looking into it and found that they had a nuclear accident out there when they're trying to test nuclear jet engines or something, and there's this facility there that's still radioactive, and they just let people go out there. It's just it's a WMA, so a wildlife management area, and they just let people go out there and hunt and fish and camp and do whatever. But there's this radioactive accident out there. This whole, I understand why Yahweh Shai has to destroy America, the whole thing. Why the whole thing has to be destroyed and it has to be left, because this devil touched it. It's amazing that it was really just through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai that we're even going to be able to go back to Israel, because the devil touched it. Who knows what they've spilled over there and how they've defiled it, but I know they have, because they are the heathen, and that's what they do. They are as death and hell. Revelation 11 and 18, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that they shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints. The saints are the Israelites, those that made a covenant with him by sacrifice. And them that fear thy name, in the Israelites being the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as are scattered. And them that fear thy name, small and great. He's going to the Israelites. And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And that's going into the Edomites. They have destroyed the earth. The Lord gave them the fatness of the earth, this temporary blessing. And when he's getting it back, it's going to be completely ruined. It's like you letting somebody borrow your car and them not only wrecking it, but they're trying to keep it too. And they're claiming to be you. They wrote their name onto the title. They put all their stuff in there. Completely wrecked it. Completely messed up the interior. Spilled food everywhere. Had all sorts of accidents. Had their party and friends come in and throw up inside of it. And when it's time to give it back, they try to keep it. They try to roll off with it. So you can only imagine what Yahweh Shem Shai is going to do to these Edomites. They have destroyed the earth. They've destroyed the Lord's footstool. Earth is my footstool. But Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, all praise, all honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakach Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.